Hey guys, it's Shannon. Today my video is going to be totally dedicated to, hey, come here. People want to see what you look like. Well, at least I want to show her off. I love her. Hey, come here. Can you turn around? Ooh, there we go. Alright, sorry guys. Okay, so this is Ella, and she is technically my dog. She lives with my parents right now, and I'll get into that for why that is. But today I wanted to dedicate my video to dogs because I seriously am obsessed with dogs, love dogs, they're my favorite animal, and they're just, like, they're amazing. Like, I don't know, like, God definitely knew what he was doing when he put them on this earth. And so what I wanted to entitle this video is 5 things my pet has taught me. So before I get into those 5 things that I took notes on, how we got Ella, because it definitely wasn't planned. Long story short, I went over to my friend's house one day, and before this I had been like talking about, thinking about, dreaming about getting my own dog puppy someday because I have always loved dogs. I've always had my own, well, my parents' but I wanted my own someday, and now that I had moved out of my dorms from college, I was able to finally do this. But I had never like actually like committed to it and said, okay, like this is happening. My stepdad had also just passed away, and so it was also, my mom was going through a really hard time, and so she had also mentioned getting a puppy sometime soon, just to like lift the spirits in our household. And so one day like I said, I went over to my friend's house one night, and she was like, hey, so when are you gonna get a puppy or a dog? I was like, oh, I don't know, like I haven't really like put much actual effort into looking or like finding. And then she asked her husband, she's like, hey, doesn't so-and-so breed golden retriever puppies? And he goes, yeah, I think so. And she's like, I'm gonna text him. And I was like, oh, okay, like, I mean, I don't think anything's gonna come out of this. So then she texted this guy, and he said that he does still breed golden retriever puppies, and he actually has one ready to go if like I was interested. And I was like, I don't know. And so then I did tell her, I told my friend, I was like, well, it would have to be female. And so then she texted him back and said it would have to be female, and he replied and said it is a female. So then I'm like, okay, and I was like, well, how much? And then he replied and said, you name it. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, like I can literally like basically pick the price of this puppy. Like why is this happening? I don't know. I'll explain later why I got her for the price that I was able to ask for. But then so later on I was like, oh my gosh, like I was planning on coming to sleep over at my friend's house tonight, and I ended up coming home with a puppy. So I was thinking, you know, I would love to surprise my mom and really do this for my mom, just because like of the trial she had been through the past like couple of months. And so she had stayed, Ella, my puppy, that's her name, Ella, had stayed with my my college friends at their house until, because at the time like I was still in between like the dorms and like moving out on my own. And so she had stayed with a few friends of mine, and then I was on my way home for Easter break, and that was also around the time when my mom's birthday was. And so I was bringing her home in this little box and everything, get her home and put her in my kennel downstairs in my bedroom. And my mom comes home from work, and she was like, she just wanted to go change out of her work clothes. And I said, hey, like, can you please come down to my room? Like, I want to show you something. I have your birthday present for you. And she was like, Shannon, my birthday's not for like another week, like it's fine, like please let me go change, like leave me alone. And I was like, no mom, like really, come down. And then all of a sudden, like Ella started barking. My mom stops dead in her tracks and goes, what is that? And I was like, happy birthday. And yeah, and then she was like, Shannon, you did not. And I was like, what? And okay, low-key, we actually kind of got into an argument about it because I was super like upset that she wasn't being more grateful that like I tried to be nice and surprise her with a puppy. But then, and she just like was not ready, like emotionally, I guess. And so then, long story short, she ended up telling me that, nope, she's gonna be yours. So I was like, oh, okay, well, this was meant to be my mom's, but now she's gonna be mine. Okay, so then she moved back to Sioux Falls with me and lived with me, and I raised her. And then I had cheer preseason at the end of the summer for a week, and so I knew I wasn't going to be home like at all to take care of her or anything. So I asked my my parents if they would be able to watch her just for that week. And then they of course said yes, and they've grown to love her, by the way. Like, so like we joke about it all the time, like how Ella is technically mine, but like now she lives with them, even though like my mom like acted like she like never wanted her, and now like she basically won't give her back to me because, so she stayed with them for when I had cheer preseason, and then at that same week my mom got her own puppy, which is this one right here. This is Penny. Hey Penny, come here. This is Penny. Okay, she's not even looking, but yeah, this is Penny. Penny. So my mom got her the same week that Ella was staying with them, and then they bonded. So my mom was like, you can't break them up, they've bonded. And so now Ella lives with my parents because my mom basically wouldn't give her back. But at the same time, like, if you watch my other videos, I technically have 3 jobs right now, so I definitely wouldn't be able to give her as much love and attention as she would deserve. And so in a way, it's kind of a good thing she lives with my parents, but I definitely miss all the snuggles and cuddles that I could get at home in my bed, like in Sioux Falls, if like she lived with me. But so that's one reason, that's the way we got her. It definitely wasn't planned. So 5 things that Ella has taught me. Number 1 is no one is perfect. Ella is the definition of an unperfect breeded like golden retriever dog. The reason why he told me I could pick the price, I came to find out, he had said like, you can pick the price because she does have something wrong with her eye. She was born with like extra skin like under her eye or something, and so it just like teared up a lot. And so then when I went and first saw her that night, that same night that my friend had texted him, I went and saw her, and it was just really watery. Like, it didn't look bad at all, like nothing was wrong. And so like she has just like more so like been a constant reminder that no one is perfect. Like, golden retrievers are like these high-breded, like purebred, perfect dogs, and she definitely was not, and you know, her behavior is definitely not perfect either. Ella, come here. Ella, come here, baby. Come here. Come here. She's not gonna come here. She does what she wants. But yeah, so no one, like, it just reminds me that no one is perfect in this world. You know, I feel like a lot of times we constantly look at others and are like, oh, I wish I had this of theirs, I looked like this, like I had this of theirs. I feel like we're just constantly, a lot of us, and I know I struggle with it definitely, is just comparing ourselves. And Ella is just really reminding me that like no one really is perfect. I mean, she had this eye problem and got her as a clearance puppy because of it. But I love her so unconditionally. I love her so much, even though she's not AKA like the perfect dog. She also has reminded me that dogs are, seriously guys, a lot smarter and more capable than we think. Like, I already knew dogs were super smart because, I mean, it's just kind of common sense. And like, dogs can be service animals and help so many people in so many different ways, and police dogs, and in the armed forces. But like, Ella has shown me and like taught me that like she is a lot more smart than I ever would have thought. Like, okay, so at my parents' house we have a chain link fence, and she has climbed and gotten out of the fence by putting her paws in like each of the chain link holes and just like then jumping over it. And so it's like, how do you do this? Or for instance, my mom just told me this story the other day, was that she left some food like in a bowl like on the counter, and she's also a counter server. She like just eats everything and anything if it's like left too close to the countertop. And so my mom like put this bowl of food on the counter, and supposedly when my mom came back in from wherever she was, the bowl was setting perfectly on the ground and the food was all gone, but it was like perfectly on the ground. And so I was like, no, that makes no sense. Like, the bowl would have broke because she probably would have like knocked it over and then ate everything, but it would have broken. And so then she's like, no, like, I seriously think like she like probably like picked it up with her mouth and set it gently down, which I'm not gonna lie, like, it sounds kind of crazy, but I mean, if she can climb a chain link fence and like figure out to put each of her feet in the little, or her paws in the little holes, like, I don't know, maybe she could. She also has taught me that we never ever get enough time, you guys. Lately, another thing that has been on my mind is just the fact that we really don't ever know when our last day or time is with someone, or even anything, like even our pets. I just feel like so much like we take like people or like our time here on earth for granted, and you don't know like what could happen. You don't know if God's gonna take someone home tomorrow, a week from now. Like I personally feel that like we really need to make our time with everyone like the best it can be, and just not hold so many grudges in life, and just live every moment seriously like it is our last. Like I know that sounds really cheesy, but like it's kind of true. Like I mean, we really do, because you never know. And so Ella, like being a dog, I really don't think, first of all, we get enough time with dogs. Dogs' lives are way too short, and they seriously become like a part of the family. And I couldn't imagine every dog that I have had that we've had to put to sleep or has passed away, it has literally been a heartbreak, because you feel like you're really losing a family member. I mean, your pets become your family. They really do. She has also taught me that like the excitement that she always has is what we should have for life. So for instance, like, you know, I'm sure all you dog lovers, dog owners, like you walk home and come through the door and they're just like jumping on you and like so excited to see you. They have this big smile, their tongue is hanging out, their tail's wagging. And you know, I completely agree. Like we have days that are terrible for us, like just horrible days, like Mondays. Like who wants a Monday? But like just days where we just want to lay in bed and it's just a bad day. Like I don't know. But like for instance, like I feel like her excitement that she has for like when I walk through the door, or her excitement when I have a treat for her, I just feel like that's how we should be feeling about almost everything that we do or have to be a part of in our lives. And if it's not, then I feel like we should definitely change it, because life is too short to not do things that make you happy. Like if you're upset doing something, like change that. Like you have the power to change that. And so she's just like a constant reminder that like her excitement and happiness, like that's what I should be reflecting on more in my life. And number 5, bottom all, she keeps me going on my worst days. Like I just said, obviously we all have our trials and our bad days and things we go through. And it kind of like, it does suck, like when I am like at my place back in Sioux Falls by myself, which by the way, I'm home this weekend, so that's why I'm making this video with her. But so when I'm back in Sioux Falls, like I really just wish some days, like on my bad days, on my worst days that I've had, like that she was just laying next to me. Dogs just know, you guys. Like dogs know when you're hurting, when you're upset, when you're happy. Like they just know. Like once again, they're super smart. They just know. And that's Zoe, our other dog. So my parents technically have 3 dogs at their place right now, which is kind of crazy sometimes, and there's definitely a lot of hair going on, but wouldn't trade any of them for the world. And so yeah, you guys, like like my heart is so like attached to dogs, like love dogs, but I think they really like can teach you quite a bit, and just be constant reminders for these little things that, you know, we think about every now and then in our lives. And I just love it. Ella, come here. Will you come here? Come here. I have a treat. Look, got a treat. Come here. Come here. All 3 of them are gonna come running. Yep. How did I know it? There's Penny, Ella, and well, Zoe doesn't care. Okay, come here. No. Come here. Come here, Ella. Come here. Here. Come here. Sorry, I'm gonna like drag her. Okay, I'll give you a treat. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you feel led. Bye.